Hey everyone, welcome again. Okay, so the last lecture what we have discussed about unit 2. We have completed unit 2 and hope you have seen all the unit 2 and unit 1 lecture. You are not skipping anything, I assume that, because it's completely linked, so you need to understand each and every unit before studying a unit, a different unit. So in this lecture we're going to study unit 3. In the unit 3 we'll study about what is project design life cycle and redesign a project through design life cycle, discovery, define, design, implement, usable, and in the last we will study about usability testing. So these are the things that we need to study. So before that you should ask yourself what we have done till now. What we have done, we got an introduction about what is a user-centric design. What are the things, what is a user-centric basically concept, what is it, the product, what is how a product is been assigned, what are the evaluating principles that the product will be evaluated on, that we call as heuristic principles. Nelson has given the 10 heuristic principles, and also we have defined the severity ratings also, that what are the severity ratings as 0, 1, 2, 3, non-critical, critical. These are the things. So in this unit what we need to study a project, how a project is been designed, the complete life cycle, and this complete life cycle contains all these two things also. Unit 2 and unit 3 consist inside this project life cycle only. This is the thing. So let's start. The first thing is, what is the basically review the concept. Let me make it thinner. Yeah, so product design life cycle is a structured multi-stage process. Multi-stage process means has multiple stages connected to each other, and they can retrieve from one stage to another stage backward also, used to guide a project from a vague idea to fully functional and tested product. Basically a vague idea, there must be a vague idea, to a fully structured or tested product. This is the complete life cycle to do that. In context of usability, this life cycle is not a simple linear path like traditional waterfall models, you need to do this, then this, then this. No, not like that, but it's an iterative cycle. You have to do this. There should not be a fixed path that you should only do this only. There might be a chance that you need to iterate backtrack to the previous state for review, for feedback, according to the feedback of the user, according to any other circumstances, where each phase informs the next, and evaluation feedback basically depends on the evaluation feedback, often sends the team back to previous stage to refine their work, that I have explained here. The same thing. The core goal is to ensure that the final product is not just technically functional but also usable, valuable, desirable, target, and for the target user. You can make a diagram that if you have seen a video of mine on design thinking, there is a series on YouTube for design thinking that I have uploaded. You can visit this design thinking if I studied this now, so you can easily understand what I am saying currently. This is design thinking. We have detail, we have discussed in very much detail in every process, everything in design thinking lectures, so you can refer that. I strongly recommend. And talking about this, so in design thinking we study this type of sweet spot, you can say, that is user desirability, feasibility, and viability. What you can say? Desirability, usability, or viability. User desirability yani ki the user should need this product. Viability means it should be technically possible to make. Viability means it should be economical. ऐसा नहीं है कि we are thinking to make a product that cost 100 rupees and we are earning 20 rupees from a product, so we are obviously going in loss. We can't do that. So it should be user desirable, technically feasible or usable, feasible you can say, or economically viable. And if you have a combination of all these three things, then this is called a sweet spot. it means this product will definitely work. So in this also, in this unit also, desirable like project design thinking, we just also need to find this sweet spot. And if you want to study this diagram, what is this diagram, or go in detail in this, you can just directly refer the design thinking video lecture that I have uploaded. I think it's in the second or first lecture only of design thinking. You can refer that. I strongly recommend, I'm saying. Okay, so let's continue to the next part. Okay, next is, yeah, this is a diagram you can refer. First stage is discover stage, then define. In the define stage, then design. You have defined. Discover means like going doing brainstorming thing, etc., like collecting ideas, multiple ideas here, from here and there, multiple resources, without data collection, without like everything you have collected. Then define what problem you need to solve and what solution you can do, and then actually implementing that solution is called design. And when you are implemented that solution, that is called a prototype, that how the solution should look, how the solution should feel. This is a prototype, and we'll do the testing for it, start testing it. And when you get something from the testing, you can directly send it to, like, there is a certain issues, that issues should be refined to the define phase or design phase. Can, like, that issue might be go to the design phase, that this is a design issue, or there is certain problem issues only, that I have not identified the correct problem, or the solution might not work. So we can directly move to the define state to correct this solution only. And we'll, after correcting the solution, we again go to the design state, then prototype state, then usability state. So it is an iterative process basically. This is a complete iterative process for project design life cycle. You need to understand. If it is them, you can refer this diagram only. Okay, so let's move. So in the next, like, we need to like study each and every state in details. First is the discovery state. You can say the 5 stage of design thinking. First is discovery state. This is the initial research state that I have already explained to you. What you can do is surveys or questionnaires, competitor analysis. You can like study the empathy of the users, like user interview you can conduct, observations, etc. You can do all this in discovery state. The define state is a synthesis state, where you need to synthesize that what is the core problem and what is the solution you need to focus on. That is the MVP. You can say define state is a MVP building state. You analyze it, finding patterns, insights. You just need to define the problem. So based on the research, what specific core problems and you should focus on. So you can say like affinity mapping, user persona you have created, or there's a problem statement you got, anything. So the goal is to focus on one particular thing. That is in the define state. You need to define the problem statement. No need to like go for a solution directly. You just need to define a problem statement. After collecting all over the things from the world, any data, every data, you just need to define a particular thing. This is a particular problem statement I need to know only. Then comes the design state. You can see in the diagram only. Yeah, we have defined, then we comes to design. In design we have solution. So in the design state we have a solution generating phase. So a clear problem is defined. So now team will brainstorm the potential solutions. Okay, so like what are the core activities you can do? You can do a ideation, that is a brainstorming. You can do architecture diagram, like architecture analysis, user flow diagrams, wireframes. There are multiple things you can do for the solution part. So after they have completed all of the things, there comes the implementation part or the prototyping stage. In this stage, the teams build a testable, simulated version of the product, or the like mockups. You have created, like you have the idea of all the mockups, all the wireframes, and you just need to create all these things for testing. Prototype is not a final or the coded product. It's just a mockup used for testing. This is the only thing. So for that prototyping, you can say there are like types of prototype: low fidelity prototype, mid fidelity, and high fidelity. What are these things? So like low fidelity means you can say this can be a simple or a paper sketch. It might be like this is also a prototype, or this is the application. There should be a cross button, there should be a image, there should be text, there should be a logo. This is also a prototype, you can say. High fidelity means it should be in a wireframe. Like let me do it. You can see this is the example of a maybe this, yeah, this is the exact diagram Jira is used with. Yeah, so it's basically a clickable wireframe. Tools like this and Figma uses this simulation. It should not contain like colors or basic fonts. But like no visual design, no color, just basic fonts like this. You can see basic fonts, no color. It can be drawn using Figma like this. Just a basic designs, not like a complete application type of thing. So this is a like fidelity thing, and the high fidelity thing is a highly realistic clickable mockup often made in Figma or Sketch. It just feels like a final product, जिसका like contains the colors, font and micro intention. So these type of things, these are the 3 stages of prototype. So you can, like, these are 3 types of prototypes, so you can use anything for prototyping. What is the goal, Harsh? What is the goal of prototype? So the basic goal of prototype is that to create a tangible artifact. What is an artifact? Tangible artifact is like, it's just key that can be put in front of a real user to test the design assumption before investing time and money in writing the code. You need to understand this. Before like investing the time, before investing the money, this is a final prototype. You can use, if you have changes, we can do the changes, and it should give a, you can say, a value to the product. After like showing the prototype results from the user, you can raise the money also, like the user are interested on, and it solves a unique problem, anything. So the stage 5 and the last stage is usability testing. So testing is basically a evaluating phase where the prototype, let me check, yeah, where the evaluator test with the real user. It's different from discovery or interviews. It's here you are observing users when they try to complete a specific task using your prototype. So these type of things. So there are testing, like we have various activities. Moderate testing, artifact 6 with the user, gives them task, try to buy a train ticket, this type of task, and ask them to think aloud, like think while speaking. Like I need to close, I need to open a new tab, so I am seeing a plus icon, so I also get a help that new tab, control T, so I should do control T, it should open a tab, I should need to close it. So this is a think aloud like way to this is called moderated testing. Unmoderated testing, we have not interrupting the user should like basically test by their own using a maze or usertested.com, anything. Then third is data analysis. The team watches the testing records, logs, and usability problems, frustrations, successful moments. So these type of things, these are the basically 3 types of like usability testing you can do. The goal is to get feedback from the actual user to find the problems. The finding on this stage are not a final grade but direct input to the next iteration, whether you need to backtrack and make few more changes, or where you need to deploy things. The team will take this as a feedback and go back to design or define stage, fix the problem, and test the new prototype. This is the only process that we need to study in unit 3. So with this we have completed unit 3 completely. Hope you all understood what we have discussed. Like if you have anything to ask, if you have any problems or anything to suggest, you can suggest it in comment. And thank you for your time. Thank you. Have a nice day.